So here's just a little update on. So I've been using my water distiller now for probably about 2 weeks. I really want to go and take a shot. I will do another video where I film the bottom of the residue that's left, because in 2 weeks I've been really naughty and I haven't cleaned it yet, and it's like the water is murky and disgusting before it comes out. So you start to get an idea of what you're actually filtering out of the water. So I've just been storing it in glass bottles, and I've been adding my remineralizer because I was really worried about the water being too acidic when it exposes with the air. Apparently when it's very neutral sometimes, I was doing a lot of research on it. So what differences have I noticed since I've been drinking it? Obviously, when you're on a path of health and spiritual evolution, you don't really know exactly what it is that's, made certain changes. But since I've been drinking it, definitely what I've noticed is that my, sorry, I always forget to turn my phone off, is that my crown chakra and my upper chakras have just opened up. I started feeling really, really dizzy for a while about a week after I started drinking it. To begin with, I didn't feel any difference, and I started to think maybe there's no change from any kind of effects in my life. And I'd say it took about a week and a half for me to start noticing things. And about a week and a half in, one of the first things that I noticed was my upper chakras opening to a whole new level. I could actually feel it. There was a lot of dizziness and expansion up here. And although I'm always evolving anyway and moving forwards and opening up in new ways, I really felt it was connected to not having the fluoride and the chemicals in my water anymore, or whatever is added, because I did use the Brita filter, but it still didn't seem to get much out. So I noticed that almost straight away. And then I also noticed that now my skin is getting better, but I have been doing other things. Irish moss particularly has been really cool for me, but I have noticed that my skin's starting to get better. But it probably took the 2 weeks for that to happen. I'd say before that, it actually maybe got a bit worse. But the main thing that I'm noticing from drinking the distilled water, the remineralized distilled water, is my crown chakra opening, my awareness of self, coming into my 7D consciousness and being able to tune into myself, my higher self. That has gone significantly higher since I've been drinking distilled water. So that actually, over all the health benefits, I wouldn't say I've got more energy, to be honest. That's always fluctuated for me anyway, but I do feel my skin's cleared off a bit. And definitely for me, the biggest difference I'm feeling in the first 2 weeks is, like I said, crown chakra opening up, movement up there. So I'll keep you updated as I go. But for anyone thinking of buying a water distiller, this is where I'm at 2 weeks in. And when I see the gunk at the bottom as well, that's pretty gross. It looks like really thick, nasty lime scale in copious quantities. But, I always notice that anyway. But I only have to look in my kettle. I've only lived here for less than a year, and the kettle was brand new, and already the bottom is covered in lime scale. So, in London, the water is pretty heavy with all that stuff. So that's, I feel that just blocks up, there's fluoride in there too, and it just blocks the pineal gland. So I really feel I'm opening that back up again and getting it back to being healthy. So I've been trying to use distilled water in as much as I can. I even put it in the kettle. What are the downsides? It does take a while, so you have to be quite organised. I try and get up in the morning and, do it then. And I try and get a bit bulked up as well. So I tend to try and run it 3 times if I'm in, so that I can fill up like 10 bottles. So there's a bit there, so I don't have to do it every day. So that's probably the only con that I've found so far, is that it does take about 3 hours to come through, and then it comes through hot. So you then have to allow it to cool down in the fridge. So all in all, it can take about 5 hours or 4 or 5 hours to get a cold bottle of water out of your distiller. So if you want to get one, know that you do have to prepare it And if you're not at home all the time, you need to leave it overnight and you need to get a system going, because it does become a system and you can do lots in one go and then just kind of keep them there as well. So that's really my only slight disadvantage, but for me it's not a problem because I work from home a lot, so I can just keep it running in the background. It's not a big deal. But if you are out a lot, that's something to consider. But yeah, I really feel like I can notice the difference of things like clearing up. And for a bit, it was quite uncomfortable because I was very dizzy and like out of it. But now I feel that's stabling out a bit. So that's where we're at anyway, 2 weeks in. And I'll drop another update soon.